Yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those on the stream, back in the action, mid-pack, wetness, UK, Brands Hatch, GT3 Wednesday Night Racing. Good evening, everyone. My co-host this evening is Paul Fenter, the man, the legend, the Bentley Banana.
That's it, everyone. Thanks, Bossman. We are here. It's brands. It's wet, just the way I like it.
I don't know if I like it that way, though. I have to admit, I've been dreading this race since last week, even before it started, because we kind of put like the worst wet conditions on Brands Hatch.
Started to make it like wet, not just a little bit wet, like proper swim with your floaties wet.
Wet. Yeah, I don't even think the UK boys have ever seen so much rain in one pouring time. So again, these boys are on their outlap at this moment. Couple of guys are gonna start hitting the benchmark and see who's gonna be on the top of the list. I reckon those that have put in the time is probably gonna shine this week. I am very curious to see where this is all gonna kick off, because last week at Nürburgring was epic. And if I say epic, it was just such a spectacular race. Boys out of the bat, like Grim Jaw, killed the pack. Jake's Fatty Cockney was there. Marius battling with Jake's. Halt's taking a victory over Viere's Sky on the last couple of minutes. I mean, so those top five to me is what I'm going to keep my eye out this week. And then I really want to see where the rest of the boys come into back, because some of them did have a bad start, managed to come back. So AK Gaff Big, it's Riddler. I'd love to see what they're going to do this evening. I don't know, Paul, what is your feel overall? Because last week to me was astonishingly shocking.
Yeah, no, look, I agree. I think Ridders should be a top 3 driver and not be rocking and rolling there in 10th, 11th. And then Gaffig, man, we've got history with that boy. That guy is super quick, so hopefully he pulls it together. And then why not throw a dark horse out there? Our very own Mr. Checo Malos in the number 8 there, LNR Checo. He always brings some spice, and somehow he's found some speed on console. So let's see what he does here between a nice competitive field and see if he has some wet speed in him.
Well, he definitely did. As you just spoke about him, he came out of the top hitting the pole, but now slightly dropping down. So again, Gaffbeak putting it up there. Cheyenne Speed, new boy on the block this week, I think. Or is it Cerro Racer? No, it's Cerro Racer that's new boy on the block.
Yeah, Cerro Racer is new for us this week with Checo joining, as the reserves have filled in one or two boys that haven't been able to make this week's race. But yeah, so it should be good to see what the two new boys in the block can do here.
And it is.
Gav absolutely smashes a lap there. So let's see if the boys can get any closer on their second run on a flying lap.
I reckon it's going to be very hard this evening. I'm not sure what happened last week, but I feel gutted for where Gav Big started. I mean, he did the best qualifying lap that he's ever done by far. I mean, him and Grimjaw were side by side. He did get the drive-through penalty, which allowed Grimjaw to just run away into the wild yonders. So my question this week is he going to keep it cool, calm, and collective? And can he put it down and not get that drive-through penalty?
Agreed. The brands, I don't think is so much a track limit problem. Here it's more about just falling off the track. So I think key here tonight is staying on track and don't mess up your pit stop. The pit entry for brands is very, very early for that pit limiter. And then the exit is very dangerous into turn 1. So yeah, survive that and you might be in with a shot.
You might be. And again, brands as we know it is always well known for like the mid-rear engine cars, for the guys in the Porsches, the Audis, the McLarens and so forth. And I somehow kind of feel that the front engine cars are going to take it tonight, just because it's that wet. and it's going to be a challenge for those mid-rear engine boys to actually stay on pace.
Yeah, as you say that, Trev's goes through turn one, full tilt sideways. I thought he was going to take out the guy sitting in the gravel trap there. But yeah, and Checo's improved. He is 0.036 behind old Gav, so that is definitely, it's looking to back up what you're saying with these front engine monsters compared to those cars that are built backwards around. So yeah,
Okay.
let's see. Because Grimjaw looked like he's struggling. He's sitting in the pits and he's in 10th, 1.5 seconds off the pace. That's like day and night difference from race 1 to race 2.
I love it when you say the cars are built backwards. I mean, it's not your favorite type of cup of tea, I would say. You're not a mid-rear engine guy. You love them in front. It's got to be front heavy and tail happy is kind of the thing, right?
Yeah, that's it. These things where the engine sits behind your head, no, that makes absolute no sense to me. Doesn't turn well. It feels horrific. Put the big block in front of me, and that's the way I like it. Like good old American muscle.
And
And
surprise,
then
surprise.
I see some of the boys have joined us. How's it, Jockey? Mr. Niall, welcome to the show, and Mr. Scooter. Lucky to see you boys here. Niall says, let's go Ridders. So, yeah, let's hope Ridders has a better race than what he did last week.
Well,
And
it's
then,
going to be challenging because science. We just spoke about the mid-rear engine. So again, McLaren number one, Marius number two. Mid-rear engine car smashed it out of the park at this stage. So these boys have got a lot to work off. Grimjaw has been in the pits since the beginning. He hasn't realistically moved. He put a time down and then he sat.
yeah, I wonder if he's not going to just say, like, screw this, let me start halfway at the back and try and avoid chaos. But I don't know, 14th out of 20. That's mid pack. That's chaos galore. But yeah, the front is close. I mean, top 4 boys separated by 2/10, not even a full 2/10. So that's nice. And then you got old Jake's lurking there, just under 4/10 behind. So and Ritter's sitting there in 6, half a second behind. So yeah, I think it's shaping up to be interesting again. It doesn't look like we're going to have someone running away. And Checo puts it on pole position. So just to
Oh,
show them, no, the Bentley's got the speed here, boys.
they do, they do. And again, a known face here from what I know as a guy that loves endurance racing. Springbok Gamer didn't join us in the first race. Good to see him back with his lovely old Lexus is what I call it. I haven't realistically seen him in any other car besides a Lexus, but a great competitor from endurance. Always stable, so it's going to be good to see what he brings to the plate this week. Currently in 6, 7/10 off the leading pace.
Yeah, I think, in the rain, he's there or thereabouts. So as we know, with the rain, quali is one thing, but running these laps for a whole 60 minutes without spinning off, hitting walls, that's going to be the key. And then, yeah, well, Gav Pig just goes, well, Checo, what you can do, I can do better, and sticks it back on pole almost 3/10 quicker. So, yeah, this grid, he's all of a sudden starting to stretch it. And I see Niall is agreeing and says, keep the mid engines away. He prefers it to be in front. And Jock says that he will bet a shot if Gav Pig or Marius doesn't finish on the podium. Wow.
Yo, big one on
It's a
that one.
it's a Wednesday, and we are on shot betting again. Okay, Jock, I will see your shot. So if either Gav Pig or Marius
It's
does
not?
not, so if they don't make the podium, then hold on. I will bet a shot if Gav or Marius doesn't finish on the. Okay, so you're drinking a shot if they basically don't make the podium. Is that what I'm reading? I will bet a shot if Marius doesn't finish on the podium. Ah, here we go. See, Jock helps me out.
Gav
My
Pig.
top 3: Gav Pig, Marius, and New Boy Speed.
Okay, Gav Pig, Marius, New Boy Speed. Again, I reckon I would probably agree with him there. Gav Pig has got something to prove. He was outdone last week, so he's definitely putting it up there again. Marius and the Porsches always seems to be a safe bet. And I'm not saying that because it's called a safe bet. I just reckon he's that good of a class racer. He showed us last week. From what we've heard, is he struggled a bit with his tires and so forth. But man, he was on pace. So it's gonna be good to
Definitely.
see.
Okay, so Mario, Jock, I will see your bet, and I will raise you a shot that Checo is going to come and spoil your podium.
Okay, so let's have a look at it. Uh,
Here we go. So
Timetables.
quali's done. What we got? Gav on pole. That's a great start for him. 2 tenths quicker than Checo. That's a good start for me there. And then Shine Speed showing that he's here to fight for the podium. And then you got Marius, then Jake's Fatni Kakni, then you got Springbok, Mr. Ridders there, then new boy Sarah Racer as well, putting it in the top 10. Nice lap there from him. Then Rapid Duck in ninth place, Tolls 44 and 10th, and then House 666, who had a heck of a race at Nürburgring, starting mid pack again. Various Sky in 12th. I kind of expected him to be a bit further up the field.
Well, again, he probably did a very good race last week. I mean, he was very solid. So, um, came back and took it by storm. So I reckon he's got a lot to give.
Okay. And then yeah, then we've got RVR in 13th, Mr. Rizzler in 14th, Alroy Sharano in 15th, and then you got last week's winner Grimjaw in 16th
16.
place.
Mm,
he he did not. How many laps did he do? He did 2
2.
laps, so he literally did not do qualifying.
Mm,
And then you got T. Scott, Captain Van Beek, Trivs, and then Drew the Great bringing up the rear there. With who also actually he only did 3 laps. He did one, in theory, one flying lap there.
yeah. So I think Gramjo is hoping for chaos. One or two, he is really struggling with the Audi because I believe he's the only Audi on track that we have. So it's either one of those two, or we're just speculating tonight, and he probably had to do something urgently, and now he's back, and then he's going to take us by storm. So I don't know. I'm surprised to see Grimjaw there, honestly.
No, I'm also shocked. So Jock says bets are on. Niall says he thinks Jock's looking for an excuse to drink on a Wednesday. So yeah, we have an interesting crowd with us tonight. Some thirsty,
Some thirsty, some not.
some not. Some here for the entertainment. Some,
Oh,
most of us here for some good racing. I think that's the key here. And they off on the formation lap. Let's hope all of them actually get away, because last week we had 2 guys who started from the pits.
yes. So again, it's going to be interesting to figure out where and how this is going to develop. Wet, cold tires, warming them up in a warm-up lap is probably the hardest thing you do with torrential rain out there. These boys are going to do a mandatory pit stop tire change during the race, 20-minute pit window. This is round 2 of Branch Hatch. And then I think I'm going to give my final shout out to the boys on stream, commentating, liking, subscribing. Again, big ups, big thanks to you. And then, of course, big thanks to all the other communities that's joined up for these races on Wednesday night. So, shout out to the Sarko boys, local South Africa community that does what we all know. Again, I'm yet to be proven wrong. Someone's going to slap me because we probably mentioned it the last time as well. Very big on project cars. They've always been known on project cars. Bunch of great guys out there. And then, of course, we've got Sonic Sim Racing, which is the SSR boys. I think they predominantly do racing on Thursday nights again. So everyone helping one another to make ACC, I would say, quote unquote, Donald Trump great again.
There we go. Perfect.
It sounds awful when we say it afterwards, though.
But yeah, it's great to see 3 communities working together, putting on a show with a full grid. That's the way we like to do it, you know. So yeah, that's great. And then all our boys from across the sea or across the continent, all the way there from Europe. This is definitely going to make for some good fun, man.
Yeah, couple of final corners for these boys to get warm up. Again, a track of Brands Hatch where I realistically don't know the corner names, and I've never gone down to learning it. So, oh, please excuse me if I'm not even gonna try and remember it, but I'm gonna maybe make a note of it so that I can remember it going forward. Ah, what did I want to say? See, off
Let's
track there.
track map. Track map. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. I have no idea. Yes,
I'm not gonna try because I've got a current scenario whereby if I call corner names incorrectly, then I am going to probably walk down my ears or on my ears.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, here we go. So we got corner name Paddock Hill Bend.
Green light, go,
Then
go,
we
go.
got Hellswood Hill.
There we
We got
go.
Druid. Cooper Straight. Oh, and we're off. We're racing. Hey,
are.
let's go racing, boys.
Got a tweet there from Cheyenne. Looks like he managed to recover it. I'm gonna go and change screens again. Everything looks beautiful again from a
Yeah, the
racing
boys.
start point of view. And again, this just replicates the same as what we saw last week. I
Not
reckon these
seeing.
console boys can teach all other communities what a race
Wow.
start should look like.
Turn 1, turn 2, absolutely clean. No yellow flags whatsoever. Okay, one guy looks like he's maybe a run a bit wide.
Phew, but he does come back nicely. I don't know who that is, but we'll figure out as everyone filters in, the telemetry filters in. So 1, 2, and 3 are close again. That's Marius and Jake's Fatty Cockney continuing their battles from last week. This is a
Yeah.
never-ending story.
Well, let's hope this week Morris doesn't have some frame dropping because he was using that as his excuse why Jake's beat him. So, of course, Jake's had lots to say and did not agree. But you know, let's go with that and say Marius no frame dropping. So hopefully he can kick some butt to that.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky for some of the guys, especially those that have gotten now maybe used to what the PlayStation 5 is versus the PlayStation 4. I mean, it's all about the frames per second and so forth. Again, being the new console, it is potentially far better than the old version. So hoping in due time most of these boys can go across and then we can get more racers on track, more better streaming. I mean, 30 boys on console in a racetrack, I think that is a milestone in itself.
Yeah. So looks like RVR was the unlucky one there, who seemed to have spun out on lap 1. So he's in last place, and then he is chasing down Stalls and Rizzler. Gav at the moment looks like he just pulled the pin and he's deciding he's going to just run away. Whoa, there's a Bentley in the wall.
Yeah, that's one more Bentley. Looking how it goes down. That's Zero Racer. Probably got a bit slippery.
I was just going to say he's made up a good few spots and was sitting in 7th, and then so that is just not the way it should go. Cheyenne is close behind Checo, and Hulls is having a look at Various Sky.
Two McLarens fighting it very hard, and again, Various Sky and Hulls last week. So it was Various Sky and Hulls last week had a good battle all till the finish line. And this week it seems to be quite the opposite, where we have each Redriff who reckons he's got something to prove, and he's doing so, but he has got a hungry McLaren behind him too. So big battles in the mid-pack, to be fair. And that's kind of what we expected. Mid-pack boys really, really close to one another. I mean, they're all within less than half a tenth of each other, and that's all the way probably till about 13th place.
Yeah, and someone has spun quite far. They spun out and is quite far behind the entire pack now. We'll see who was that has spun out.
Captain van Beek deep into the corner 1, hits it bad, loses plenty position. Sorry for cutting in there, but he was trying to battle it out there. Dropped 2 positions, back on track again, but now he's got an Aston Martin T Scott behind him, and he's going to potentially challenge for positions. So it's not all fun and games here tonight. It is definitely quite tricky. Torrential rain madness.
Yeah, the boys are definitely they're going to have a challenge tonight. And that Aston of Stalls looked like he took the long way around there as well. Oh, who's on Marius's? So Jakes has gotten past Marius,
Again.
and Springbok Gamer, yeah, again, and Springbok Gamer is having a look, sizing up Marius to get past him as well. So this will get quite interesting quite quickly, and it is starting to look like the front engine cars is moving forward.
It is, and again, we kind of all knew that the mid engines are gonna probably struggle. I mean, Cyan did put a good qualifying lap there, but he has slowly lost a lot of time towards Checo and Gav Pig. He seems to be very solid. Ooh, just as we speak,
And
Jake's
Jake loses
Fatikaki.
it. That is a hard hit. That is going to be some severe damage.
Yeah, it's like just coming down Parakil Bin, and then if you don't do it right with a big puddle of water or just too much on the curbs, your rear end is not going to be happy with you, and all it's going to do is spin you around. And that's kind of what it looks like happened there.
Yeah, that is exactly what I think how that looks. So hopefully he's able to continue. Otherwise, he will need to put in and do an early pit stop. I don't
Yeah,
think is there a pit window currently on the console side. I don't think so.
there is, so they only have a 20-minute window. Currently, pit box is still closed up until the 20-minute marker. So any pit stops taking place at this moment, all they can do is fix the car or trying to survive until the pit window opens to do the tire change.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get some rear end action here. So this is Marius, and at his rear end is Springbok Gamer chasing him down. I'm loving the fact that I can change views now, but I just wish I could change cars so that I can just move cars and leave it in this window, because there's so much to see in this window. Come on, ACC. 505 games, give it to us.
Work with us.
Yes, just work with us. Again, I don't mind having to commentate on a scenario where I can see all the boys from 1st to 20th. I mean, it's actually quite nice and I can filter in between them, but I'm kind of stuck. I mean, we're stuck on one view. Oh, we want to see close racing. We want to see the close battles. We want to actually sit in the car and listen to what the Porsche sounds like. Again, like yesterday, all I went on about the sound cars, and some of them are pretty gorgeous. Like, it's just, it's beautiful. It's music to our ears.
See, so we got Gav is just pulling away. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of Checo. So let's hope they can keep that stability and not murder themselves. So Gav looks like he is in absolute control. And then Checo sitting pretty in second with what's it, a 4-second gap over Cheyenne, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, there is about a 4-second delta deficit between them. Again,
And then
Marius and Springbok.
Yeah, Marius and Springbok chasing down Cheyenne with a 2-second gap between the three of them. And then you got this little battle going on here from the start with Ridders, Various Sky, and House. So McLaren versus Porsche.
And it's quite close. So these boys are giving it as best as they can, but they still have a rapid duck there in his Bentley.
Yeah, he's closing. He's definitely closing in.
Ooh, as we speak, someone went on the spin there, and that kind of looked like, who was that? Missed it completely.
No, it's Ridders. It's Ridders. No, it's not Ridders. It was.
No.
Who was that?
Science Speed. Science Speed has lost it on the corner.
Oh, jeez.
Absolute disaster for him.
He drops to, where is he dropping to? He's behind Jake. So Jake has moved up to 10th and Shahan's sitting in 11th. And then he's got Grimjaw is battling in 12th place. Whoa, Shine loses it again.
Loses it again as we look at this one. Rizla the Roller versus Grimjaw, two of the boys that were pretty much far apart last week at Nürburgring. Oh, big contact there
Rizzler
between
just
the two. Ah,
smacked him. That's not good.
that is probably not ideal. And again, that to me is a scenario with two individual cars coming down that corner. And again, it's a fast corner. I mean, Hawthorne Bend is all about getting that entry into it. And it's all about speed. Now, certain cars will use a brake in order to get his car turned and moved into that. And I think that is just a complete misjudgment where the Bentley was too close to the rear of that Audi and just couldn't stop his car, because I reckon the Audi slowed down to make the corner.
Yep, definitely looks that way. I hope he hasn't sustained too much damage. He is carrying on driving, so let's see how that goes.
Yes.
But he has dropped down to 15th now, so yeah. So the front has gotten a shake up with Mario's in third now. Springbok sitting in fourth. So Mario's been gifted two positions by two drivers who has spun themselves out.
Definitely, and that's for sure. So it's Rillers has managed to create a bit of a gap between him and then of course various guys. So I don't know what has happened there, but he has lost two positions since the last time we spotted him. I mean, he was on the rear end there of Riddlers or Redders. I must stop calling him a Riddler. Oh my word.
It's the Riddler and health. There we go. You see,
Yeah.
just like, there we go.
I am so sorry. Again, here we go and murder everyone's names. T. Scott, on the other hand, sure. From
Coming from just about right at the back. I think he started in 18th and he's up to 9th. That is a brilliant drive.
It is a very brilliant drive. Now, from recollection, I think it's Scott and Stolz and the Astons last week that were doing phenomenally well, and both of them got disconnected, suffered the consequences of returning back to the racing, but then were so many laps behind. So let's hope this week goes very well for them. Yes, it is Stolz. So they're both running the same liveries. I'm guessing it's a team thing. I mean, very well themed there with the yellow, blue, and red. Unless that's some Ukrainian representative
why
there.
is he jumping into the pits? Why is he jumping into the pits?
That is a bit too soon though, right?
Yeah, he's still got 8 minutes before the pit window opens.
Probably some damage that needs to happen. But again, big battles here. This is quite a train here behind Hulls at the moment. He seems to be keeping the boys behind him in the Porsche. Again, he had great battles last week with various guys, so I'm reckoning various guys is licking his lips again, trying to get back onto that Porsche because the battles were so intense. Rapid Duck at the moment looks very aggressive from my point of view. Whoa! As I said that, the two made contact.
Oh boy, you bring the commentator's curse once again.
I think I'm bringing it one step further than what I should have, because every time I speak of something, I see contact, and that's actually quite scary in humble opinions. I'm gonna stay quiet now. I'm going to remain silent.
You will not talk about whichever car we're busy looking at on track. We are talking about some cars racing around a track somewhere in the world that's kind of wet at the moment. And it looks to be interesting racing.
It is.
will be very generic. Jakes has at least he's sitting in 9th. So I'm sure he's got quite a bit of damage, but he's trying to just keep it together and just waiting possibly for that pit window to open so that he can repair the car and bring some speed, because we can see the whole front bonnet on that Merc is wanting to lift off.
Yeah, and again, this weather doesn't make it easy on Brands Hatch. We all know Brands Hatch itself is such a difficult track just to manage in dry conditions, and at this moment all I can see is rain everywhere, puddles everywhere. There's not even a glimmer of a dry line. So These boys are really, really struggling this evening. So I'll take my hat down for them taking on the challenge.
Yeah, that's the way we want it. I am checking in on Discord on some of the guys, just making sure everyone is happy and going, and on the stream. So some interesting information. Niall says that poor Ridders is currently suffering from Rona and is out there racing.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that's got to be hectic, sitting in fifth place. So that's a great effort because we know how that can affect sometimes.
Well, again, from our point of view, we wish him all the luck. I hope he gets well again. Looking at the race, I'm smacking on that. Springbok very aggressive at this moment, looking left, looking right, taking the line there. Oh, grabs it over Marius. That is a good move again. He positions his car in a beautiful way, making Marius aware that he is now going to take it. That is his spot now. I want to see if he can actually start pulling away, because the Porsche to me is doing well, but I really believe it is not. This is not the condition for a Porsche, especially not in this scenario. So tough times.
No, I think Morris is doing the best he can. Currently, the leader of the mid pack cars, and then we've got a blue Bentley that's full of track. I assume that is one of the Bentleys at the back being lapped. So yeah, Marius looks like he's falling away, and Springbok is getting into a stride and just pulling away already. So he's got 13 seconds to try and hunt down 44 minutes to catch the two boys in front.
Yeah, and we haven't spoke. Ooh, maybe we should, because this gap has suddenly decreased dramatically. And I'm guessing Gaffby made a slight error somewhere along the line, but the last I saw is they were 2 seconds adrift from each other, and all of a sudden it's within a second.
Yeah, no, that's we can only assume that Gav made a mistake, and Checo he can be quite intimidating when he just sits behind you and just hovers there. We tend to get worried because he at times can be a very good driver and getting past someone and then just running off into the distance. So let's see if he can rattle Gav Big by filling his mirrors.
That's the thing. It's about it's how how more can you intimidate the driver ahead of you? Because we all know the amount of concentration needed for Brands Edge to do what you need to do lap by lap is intense. And one small twitch on it will probably unsettle you for the next 2 or 3 laps until you can calm and cool, get that calm, cool, collective thoughts back again and put it down lap by lap. So will he bend and buckle under the pressure is the big question. Currently it looks like he seems like all is well. I don't see any damage.
Yep. I think he might have just made a slight mistake, maybe ran wide or went sideways to one of the corners, and that brought Checo just that tad closer. Springbok, I see, he's busy pulling away. He's like a second away from Marius now, so he's pulled away from Marius, but he's losing about a second a lap to these two front boys because he's 14.5 seconds behind them now and was 13 seconds behind. So these two in the front are probably in a league of their own at the moment. And then Various, he's only half a second behind Ridders, so those two boys aren't done fighting with each other today, and T Scott is up to 7th.
Yeah, he's gaining up the ranks, as I can see. Ooh, and that looks like a back marker. Captain Van Beek in his McLaren not having the best races this evening. That McLaren looks all bent up into shape. So I don't think he's very happy this evening. Had a fantastic race last weekend. I mean, did quite well. So I think it's just it's a challenge. Not easy.
Yeah, no, this driving in the rain ain't easy. I mean, last night on the PC side, some of us couldn't even drive in the dry. So you know.
That's true. So again, not far off it. Various guy has caught up all the way to its riddles again. So
Yeah,
I have.
he's right on his backside, and here comes Mr. Scott.
What has happened?
Scotty is coming. Mr.
Like,
Scott is on his way, and he is coming with speed. But again, front engine car, and he is absolutely just catching these boys.
yeah, he's getting very closer lap by lap at this stage. So don't know what it is, but somehow various each ridders is up there, and based on the information we received, the man is driving well under the influence of COVID. He's still managing to keep the guys behind him. I just don't know how long is he going to maintain it, because at some other point the frustration is going to start settling in for the guys like Various Sky and maybe T Scott. But window open, so this could bring in a different dilemma. People can pit, people can get tired. Maybe that's the better option.
I would gamble this and close my eyes and not take tires. That would be my gamble here, is to stay on the wets, just put in fuel and go.
Ah, you do know that we made it so hard for everyone.
Did we make it mandatory?
Yeah, we kind of did. We did.
Okay, mandatory tires it is then. So then yes, take some new wets
And go for it.
Get out there and go for it. And yeah, but within a lap, Scott has pulled out 1.5 seconds.
Yeah,
and
see
he's
this.
over Various Sky. This is absolutely awesome. And poor Drew the Great got a stop-go 30-second, and there was a blue Bentley pointing in the wrong direction in the back.
I don't know who that was though. I've got to pick it up. That car looks to me like car 9 something.
Might be Drew the Great, 999.
Might be. Back in the pits, yes, potentially be. So he went into the pits, pinned a lot. So boys coming in the pits at the moment. Rapid Ducks in. Jake's Fatty Cockney definitely in. Triv's GG is in the pits. A man we haven't really spoken about. So again, those boys have probably got a bit of damage, decided to go in early, which I think is best. And might give you a better advantage. It's about the same thing between these three. I mean, if I was Various Sky or T Scott, I would probably think about it a bit early, come out, hope for clear air, and then you don't realistically have to battle the scenarios here.
Yeah, agreed. I think why not go for an undercut and see what you can do, because especially if you are battling to get past him, so for like someone like Various Sky, I would do that. Various Sky made a mistake.
He did. He made a mistake, but that has put T Scott all over the back of Riddlers now. So something has changed along the line that we've now missed. I think we talk too much, man. We just talk.
Yeah, I think we just talk way too much. So on stream, some of the boys who have joined. What's happening? Oh no, Springbok Gamer has lost it.
He has.
There goes Various Sky. And there goes. Oh, or did he and Jake's come together?
I don't know who came together, but that, to my knowledge, Merc. Is that not?
Jake's might have been being lapped and caused an issue with Springbok Gamer. Possibly, I don't know. We will have to find out after the race what happened there. But Springbok Gamer has dropped down to 6th place. Riddens is up to 4th. Scott in 5th place. And then Various Skies right there. And there's more chaos because Jake looks like he's busy fighting back. And it's blue flags, and it's a bit confusing and give a card at this moment in time. That is pure chaos.
I'm with you. That feels very confusing because that is Various Sky there at the moment, but he is being chased down by I just had his name, Jake's Fatty Cockney, who went into the pits.
So he, in theory, in my mind, would be a lap down at this moment in time because the other boys have no pit.
Yes. So he's still got a far end to go. Now how that happened between Springbok Gamer is yet to be confirmed because we can't go back and look at it, but Springbok Gamer was in third, and he's now all the way back. That's quite far for you. Well, not that far, 7th place, but still puts him behind various guys. So now he's got a lot of work to do and recapture everything he has lost. So love to know what has happened to this man. Springbok was looking good for a potential podium. Now, on the other hand, it might be quite tricky. And as we talk about it, look at this straight. There's so many cars here.
It's madness. I thought this race was going to be calm, relaxing. Now it's absolute insanity.
Since when does that ever happen? So, looking forward, T. Scott has made a move on its Ridders. He is seemingly casting away into the distance there. Don't know where that has happened. Doesn't look like any severe incidents occurred, so it had to be a great move. Again, various guys trying to chase down its Ridders. Seems like these boys get to one another, get close enough. Ridders into the pits, various guy continuing on, and right behind him is got Springbok Gamer. So I reckon a quick in pit is probably the best choice, and hopefully it doesn't impede you coming out.
Yeah, I also think at this moment with all of this going on, get in the pits, get out of the way, and just see where you come out, and then you know what you got to race for. Where running long in traffic like this, I think it makes for more confusion.
It does, and I'm really struggling to keep track at this moment because so many things has changed now. The Cerro Racer in the Bentley is now in 8th, and he's being chased by Cyan Speed. Again, Cyan Speed qualified top 5 at this moment, so he's just within the top 10 bracket at this stage. Not the best race for him. I'm fairly confident this is not where he wanted to end up when he put down one of the most smashing qualifying laps ever. So, not ideal in fairness.
This from a race that looked really quiet, it became very hectic, and I see Checo's really fallen back from Gav. Gav Pick is 2.5 seconds ahead of him now, so Checo should play the smart game and just keep it steady, keep it on track, because he's almost 20 seconds ahead of third. So ideally, unless Gav makes another mistake, just keep it on track and just keep going.
Yes.
Yeah. T. Scott with, some of the pit stops obviously has taken place, but T. Scott is sitting in 4th place. That is from 18th on the grid to 4th place.
That's very achievable.
And some say the Aston is not great. This Aston looks to be wonderful in the rain.
Well, it's doing quite well though, and again, a few guys have had some incidents. I mean, if I count on my fingers, various guy had a couple of incidents where he went forward and then backwards. Who else? Grimshaw had a big coming in with one of the individuals, which unsure whether it's a racing incident or not a racing incident, but again, that has happened. Jake Fatikakni had a couple of incidents, Captain van Beek had a few incidents, Rapid Duck had maybe 1 or 2, so again, so much going on, and if you stay clear out of all the accidents and incidents, you will move forward. It just kind of shows you to just keep your line, race a race, and think of the long-term goal.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then I see, so the boys are still none of the top guys. So the top driver that has pitted is the Ridders. Everyone else still circulating, and they've got just under 12 minutes left to get to the pits.
Yes.
I see Elroy Sharono's in the pits now. There we go. As we say, that Springbok Gamer has finally decided, okay, let me jump in the pits, and he's going to blink first out of the top 10 drivers.
Yes, and Ridders has got clear front track ahead of him now, a fresh set of tires, no one around him that can give him pressure, so all he needs to do from his point of view is put the laps down, and just focus on what needs to happen in order to probably create that gap. I am very curious to see where T Scott, Various Sky, and Hell's filters out when they go to their pit stop. Because again, T Scott was ahead of Ritter. Various Sky was, as always, since the start of the race, continuously trying to make a maneuver on Ritter. So where they filter out will be very good to know. And then, of course, as we see, Springbok Gamer still in the pit. So that is Ritter's taking a position on him. Absolutely unfortunate, though.
I think Springbok is busy repairing some damage because that is a long lap before he's decided he's just going to sit in the pits.
And he stayed there.
Yeah, he's still... No, wait, there we go. It shows that he is done and on his way out. So that was definitely damage repair that he's done, and he's come out, I think, probably just ahead of Jake's.
Well, yes. Just ahead of Jake's Fati. So,
we are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
30 minutes on the clock there, getting a reminder. So yes, still got individuals behind him who out-qualified most of the boys, but again, haven't had the best of races. More boys going into the pits, so Stoll's back in the pits again. Various Sky in the pits, Grimjaw in the pits, Rizla in the pits. So, yo, just look at that. That's like a whole train of individuals going into the pits. It is now time. And again, these boys only have 10 more minutes to do a pit stop. And as we speak of that, Gav Pit in the pits, that now makes Checo the preliminary leader of the race. So, interesting to see how everyone just filters in at the 30-minute mark. And I think they probably just predicted it. We all knew that the race is going to be wet the whole time through. So at best, what do? You go 60-60 or 50-50 and then run it through.
That's it. So I guess that's what the boys did. They went with a 60-40 split, and they now like, okay, time to pit before something happens.
Yes. Nothing wrong with that.
Marius and Checo still going out of the front, guys. So let's see. And then, yeah, T. Scott, Hals, Shahan, and Sarah Racer. So they all going long on their fuel. Probably going to stretch it. If they're not pitting now, they're probably stretching it and going to put in that last 2 minutes.
Well, gotta admit, I don't know how this man did it, but he was behind Ritter before the pit stop, and he jumped him by 2.5 seconds.
Wow.
Coming out of the pit. Massive in-lap and, well, smashing it out of the park with an outlap. He is definitely opened up the throttle, placed the turbo in the front, and moving away from Ritter's like it's nothing.
Yeah, he looks like he definitely has quite a bit more speed than Ritter's at this moment in time.
It kind of shows you how difficult it is to pass.
Yeah, true, because he was struggling to get past Ritter's for the first half of the race. Now that he's passed, he's just absolutely just pulling away. So Cero's in the pits. Ritter's has passed him, so let's see how far Cero falls back. But yeah, Ritter's has lost a whole second there to Various Sky. So Various Sky definitely on the move right now. And then Marius has blinked. He's in the pits.
He has. Current our race leader, Gav Big, he's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Not much to worry behind him because it looks like that's Cheyenne Speed who is yet to pit. So with this in mind, 6 minutes of pit window still open. It doesn't seem like he's going to get any traffic at any other point. Marius has pulled the trigger. T. Scott has pulled the trigger. So the only boys not pitted in the front two is Hals. And then of course Checo. Hal's doing a very long stint at this stage.
No, he's definitely doing a long stage. And then I see Wolfman Willie has joined us on stream as well. And Brandon and Pierre. So how's it, guys? Welcome. And Wilfred is saying some Scott stole his slang. I don't know what slang. A Scott Stoley slang. I don't know. He'll have to explain to us then what's going on with the slang. But yeah, what's happened here? So Marius is out the pits. Gav has obviously jumped him because he was quite a bit behind him. I see Checo's in the pit. So this is now going to be the key point here. Did Gav lose time to Checo?
Again, I'll be surprised though, because again, pit stops in ACC and in general is so tricky. You gotta get your entry line into the pits on point. We all know that. If you slow down your car too soon, you lose valuable time. Then if you get that right and you do get your car on the jacks, without it actually doing a double take, is what we call it.
Checo's dropped down and he's showing that his pit stop is complete.
So out the pits, he's coming. This is gonna be phenomenally close.
This is gonna be so close.
Yo, Checo's got it. Checo is ahead of Gaffpig as we speak, coming out of the pit lane. Gaffpig has got a lot of work to do. Checo maneuvering in between all the traffic so that he can get ahead, and that's a 2-car. So Hals is behind Checo. Right behind him looks like T. Scott. No, yeah, it's not. It's one of the Scots. That's Scott. So Scott 44, Hals is in between these two boys.
Wow. Oh, that. Checo has driven. Man, Checo's on fire.
Again, I reckon it's a good pit stop.
Who would have known? Checo must have had a brilliant, as you said, hit all the marks. There's a Porsche spinning. Is that Porsche? Oof.
Keeping close eye on that because these boys do not want to.
Oh, and he missed Gav. He missed Gav. Thank goodness. But their Stalls is also off.
I don't want to be that man at that window because all he see Porsche to the right, Porsche to the left, Porsche everywhere. Oh my word! There's an Aston. Please stay away.
Alright, so at least Gav has gotten past them. Hals still has not pitted. So we're waiting for Hals to pit.
He's going in for sure. Cheyenne Speed's going in for sure. 2 remaining boys that still needs to pit, so they're going in for it. Again, let's talk about it. I mean, that is of epic performance. Like realistically,
Checo's
before the pit stop.
Checo's 3.4 seconds ahead.
Yes. Wow, what has happened?
Checo find that speed.
I reckon we still got a good race to go here. I mean, 23 minutes, anything can happen. I mean, we saw it during the first half of the race. Gaffpig was kind of ahead of Checo by about 2.5 seconds. It seems like they ran similar paces in and here, but I reckon Gav had a couple of laps where he's far more superior than Checo. Now again, it's much easier to catch a guy than to pass a guy. We've seen this. I mean, various guys just couldn't get past Ridders.
Yep, that's true. That's true. So let's see what happens if Gav can get close to Checo, and then if he can, what is going to be the actions from there. So pit stops has cycled through. So we do have Checo first, Gaffpig second, Marius is in third. T. Scott is up to fourth in a legit fourth position, with Cheyenne about 4 seconds behind him, and then Cheyenne and Rapid Duck and Hals 666 all seem to be within 1 second there, so they'll be fighting with each other.
Yeah, everything's filtering through now, so I kind of noted that various guys ahead, yes. So various guy in 6, Cheyenne Speed and Hals, they are close to each other. Again, that made the Ridders lose 3 more positions.
Ridders has had a bad pit stop, so we definitely need to see what he did. Where did he go wrong? And then you've got Cero sitting in 10th, Jakes with a great recovery up to 11th, Grimshaw only in 12th. So he's been struggling with that Audi in the rain, it seems. Then you've got Rizzler, RBR, Springbok in 15th, Alroy, then Captain van Breek, and then Trivs and Stalls. And then Drew obviously has retired to the pits. But I'm surprised that Grimshaw is only in 12th after the amount of speed that he was showing at Nürburgring.
Yes, and it's so unusual. I really reckon it's one of those things where Grimjaw kind of knew that he was gonna struggle here. It might be one of those tracks where it's not his favorite, not his best performance track. Because again, we all have those. We all have that that worm apple track, the one we never want to drive on, and this could be one of them. Um,
I fully agree. I'm reading the comments. Checo will love this one. Jock says that this is what happens when Checo stops talking about his ex. So,
Lo-
I guess for this evening, Checo's ex gave his speed back again to him to
Uh,
borrow for one evening.
Seems like it, or he's going to have a new egg soon because I reckon he was very quiet over the last few times. Again, look at that gap,
Yeah,
5
he's just pulling
seconds
away.
deficit.
He is absolutely just pulling away and just he is flying. That is absolutely astonishing
But you know he's
and
now
awesome
close.
to see in the same go.
I don't have words. I can probably speculate at this moment. I mean, all the things going through my head is being a sim racing driver goes like, is the tire pressure for Gaffney correct? Are they too low? Is he not getting enough grip? Um, I mean, nothing makes sense as to why he doesn't have the pace to what he had when at the first half of the race, other than
Yeah.
those few things.
Yep, no, agreed. It might be that he somehow has messed up his tire pressures and it's not as good as what it was. So yeah, and then T Scott and then Rapid, they still going. They still have a great battle going on, and then they've got various guys that's only 3 seconds behind them. So can
Mm,
he get up, or is he going to just fall away? Because he was quite strong in the previous race in the second half. So let's see what happens now in the second half uh, of this race. Poor
that
Springbok going from fighting in the top 5 and he's
true.
sitting in 50, about to get lapped.
Yes, it's such an unfortunate race, and again, it's one of those incidents we couldn't capture. I'm fairly confident that. Ooh, yeah, commentators curse T Scott off the track. That is a
And
big spin from him, and now he's got various guy all over him. So this is going to be quite interesting to see where that evolves. Did he pick up damage? How has that raveled his nerves? Position lost. Rapid Duck goes through. Big battles here. Apologies for that. I just got overly excited the minute I saw that, and I'm like, oh, commentators curse.
so now I've joined you on the curse side of life. Wonderful. Poor T Scott. He was looking so good and all of a sudden he was playing ping pong between the barriers.
Yes, that is just unfortunate. And again, it's a scenario of just touching the curb, just going a bit too confident, I would say. Too confident in that corner where you want to push the limit. You kind of know that you can do it, but you have to do it because you got pressure behind you. I mean, he had severe pressure with Rapidak right behind him, and I think he just wanted to make a gap, create the gap, maintain
Yeah.
that momentum, and pushing too hard just slid him off the road all over. And now he's got to defend again with various guy behind him, who seems to be quite quick the whole night long.
He just seems to he seems to start off so and then as the night progresses, he just finds more and more speed. And then Howes looks like he's got a whole train of guys behind him trying to get past him.
And again, with a Porsche, he was very solid in the first race. He's got Cheyenne behind him, Ridder's right in close proximity. So that Porsche, in all fairness, does look a bit dented though. So it's not like
Yep.
he has had a clean race.
So yeah,
Dent-free.
Cyan's off the track. Cyan's off track. Gets
Ooh,
back
Cheyenne.
on, loses a spot. Oh, he's gonna. Oh. I think he helped Ridders. He sent Ridders off there. Ridders has lost another spot there. But whoa, and he loses it all on his own. I think he aquaplaned there because there is a puddle right there on the braking zone there. So Cheyenne has gone sliding off, and various guy just smiling. He was gifted that and just walked away. Hal's got a helping of losing the boys behind him, and Cero and well, I think Cero's been the big the
Loser
big.
there.
No,
Offense.
Cero
Oh,
gained so
Sarah
much.
Racer.
He gained-
Yes.
yeah, no. Poor Cheyenne is the big loser there. He's gone from 6th spot and he's down in 11th. Where Sarah has gained 2 spots without doing anything.
I'm still filtering through as what has happened there. Like
And
Like,
then
oh.
Jakes is back in the fight for top 10 position here. Jakes can finish in 7th.
yeah, he's
My
now all
lord.
over the back of his ridders there. So McLaren versus Mercedes. I need to recollect myself. So that swing over there is definitely just an aquaplane scenario, which one would have never expected to actually see in scenarios like this.
No, there's a horrific puddle there on the braking point. So as you would see, most of the guys are braking in the middle of the track there, and I think with them fighting for their position, he just by accident caught the puddle and ran off.
Oh, that is so deeply unfortunate, man. Like a slight braking error with a big puddle causes him to aquaplane, misses the whole battle, and now he's got to battle all the way back. It's just not a good race for Cheyenne.
Yeah, and just taking a quick squiz, and Checo's pulled another 2 seconds out of Gavpeg.
Oh,
Whoa,
Al
whoa,
making a big
How's is
mistake
off.
there.
How's
Oh,
off. Whoa, boys, and Ritters goes running, farming off, and pushes poor Jakes off the track. These guys, they are deciding who are we giving the position to. Man, this is.
I am.
And Ritters is having a look back on Hellsdown.
This is what
Gee.
rain does. It just brings that next level of racing, which you just cannot expect. Because you can instantaneously see and just refresh us what has happened there. So Hals has gone off track, coming back onto the track. Ridder's taking the cautious line, but simultaneously outbrakes himself. And then Jake's Fatty wanted to go on the outside of that corner to make a move, but then realized, oh my word, Ridders didn't brake in time. Therefore, he had to make an avoidance move to avoid the collision, which they all handled well. But in there,
Ritters off again. Oh,
Ridders off
man.
again. It's just not gone that well for him this evening. And again,
Started
giving it.
out great. Started out great, and he's just fallen all the way back. But I think he's trying to make up for the mistakes he's made, and that's costing him because it's forcing him to make more mistakes.
Yes, it is. I think we've kind of outlined how Brands Hatch works in all fairness. I mean, Brands Hatch is a track where you've got to put it down lap by lap. The unfortunate side of it is as we look at the lap telemetries and how we improve, I think we kind of go like, yeah, we can push it more, we can push it more, we need to push it more, I want to gain more. And then once you go over that limit, all that happens is mistake after mistake after mistake, because it's beyond the limit. And you got to recollect yourself and go all the way back to get it comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's the hard challenge at Brands Hatch. It's a beautiful track, but you need to be so zoned, so focused, and so in tune. As we talk about in tune, zone focus, Springbok Gamer off the grid again. Not the best of races for him. Trying to recover there out of the corner on the track. Moving it as slowly as he can just to avoid any collision impedance. As we talk about that, that's Gaffbeek coming around the corner. He's seemingly closing the gap between himself and Checo. But again, we've got 11 minutes racing left. So is this Gaffbeek putting the turbo juice on? Or is it Checo going a bit slowly, taking it a bit easy, knowing that he himself will be accountable for winning or losing this race?
Yeah. Only time will tell which one's got the right decision here. holding back or giving it stick.
And it's going to be hard as you speak about mid-pack boys are still fighting. It seems like we've been talking so much about these boys. He's got various guys. Ooh, McLaren off the field there again. Zero Racer, we haven't talked much as well, but he's up there, top 10 for him this evening.
And fighting with T-Scott and Verisky. They caught up to Verisky, so Verisky must have made a mistake because he was the big winner out of all of the chaos that started about 10 minutes ago with Ridders and everyone, with T-Scott, when T-Scott went off. So, yeah, they've caught up to him after we thought he had some epic speed. But again, it's these front-engine cars chasing down the mid-engine, and then, as we say, that Sarah decides to use a little bit more than the track to try and get past Verisky.
I think we've spoken so much about Various this evening. It's quite unusual. I mean,
he's been where the action is.
He has. He's been pretty much where all the action is, and again, we do try and find the best action from a racing point of view because it helps us create the content to talk about. But I really feel like this man has had the worst luck because I think he gets 2 steps forward and like 5 steps back every single time, and he, is it him pushing too hard? Is it? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I just think these boys, they still getting to grips with racing each other, then they're getting to grips with the conditions. So yeah, I think it's everyone's still sussing out the situation, but it's definitely making for entertaining racing at this moment in time. But yeah, so in front Checo's is, yeah, he's definitely being caught by Gav. Gav's taken half a second out of him on that lap. So let's see what he can do in 9 minutes. Mario seems to be comfortably ahead of Rapid. Rapid is about 5.4 seconds ahead of this little battle that we're currently watching here for 5th, 6th and 7th. And then Hal seems to have broken the back off of Jake's and is 2 seconds ahead of him with Ridders another 5 seconds behind them. Then you've got Grimshaw in 11th. I'm still shocked that he's sitting in 11th. That he had shown. Yeah, I am shocked. Then you've got Rizzler, RVR, Cheyenne, Springbok, Trivs and Alroy, Sharano, Captain Van Breek, and then Mr. Storms. So yeah, it's I think the back half of the field is they quite a bit spread because they've got a few of the guys that have had some accidents in between and trying to recover. But yeah, this is definitely where the fight is, this between 5th and 7th place.
Yeah, they are the closest amongst the group at this stage, and we'll probably just keep an eye on how this progresses. It creates for great entertaining content. T. Scott was there, moved backwards, is back forward again. He's having a phenomenal race this weekend. So it looks to be great for them considering what has occurred last week. Again, if we have to think about it, they were, I think they were really doing well at Nürburgring. It's just that disconnect that they had and forced them to come back and finish further back of the grid. So this week is definitely a great showing, and they're doing phenomenally well though. However, that doesn't stop the pressure building up between the 3 of these boys.
And again, Barry is sitting right smack bang in the middle of, is he going forward or is he going backwards?
Yeah, that's kind of the things, and it seems like they're all still sussing each other from a braking line point of view. I can just imagine how hard it is. I mean, if we go on board just on Various Sky at this stage, I mean, from a viewing perspective, it's not as bad as what I would have thought. Ooh, as he goes very deep in there, outbrakes himself, still maintains to keep the position. So visibility is probably not as bad as what I would have expected it to be. So
at least they can see where they're going.
At least they can. I mean, I think I've had a couple of races where visibility was far worse than what this is at the moment. And then, of course, right behind him, he's got Zero Racer, which is his first race this evening here by us. Great showing, though, however, so he's making it count where it needs to be. Wants to potentially show that he can stay there. And as I talk about him, he goes off track.
Yeah, but he seems to run off at that corner and here every single lap. It's almost as if that is his line to be running grass. Yeah, and then checking in on the stream here. So Jacques says that Checker has come a long way and finally we are able to see him lead a race, which is 100% true and really epic to do.
Yes.
Then Lionel says his ex has given him his speed back and Checo is still pulling away from Gavpig. I do see that the gap's back up to like 7 seconds. Well, now it's just over 8 seconds. So Checo most certainly is just pulling away.
Yeah, but I reckon they're filtering through a lot of traffic at this moment. You can see all around Checo at this stage is just traffic formed them back. And that, I believe, is Howells. Yes,
Yeah,
Howells and Zero.
Yep.
So Howell's giving way there because he's got the leader around him. Now that has allowed Zero to take the position and goes like, "Thank you, sir. I will take that."
Yep, they are now super close together. And then, as you say that, you got Ridders and Jakes like yes, hold each other up because they are trying to get back at them as Sarah's busy having a look. Ooh, he's going to go for the outside line. Are they going to go side by side? Is there going to be a touch?
Nope.
Man, these
that
boys are
so
going
close. For a moment there, I thought, is that Checo? Is it not Checo? Oh, big mistake there by Howells. That's gonna give a better speed there.
That's gonna give the spot to.
Oh, but it brings everyone else much closer. So we got Ridders back into it again, and of course Jake's Fatikaki. So again, this top 10 battle has just intensified by 4. Side by side action there. Howells and Zero. Ridders taking. Ooh,
Jake's having a look down the inside because he got a better run because Howells had that look at Zero. Yeah, and Jake's Fatnikakni is going to take that spot away and he's going to be like, check the move, hou vas my branas.
I have to laugh, but that is so awesome. Oh my man.
And now he has got 3 minutes to chase down Zero, and he is absolutely catching up blisteringly quick to the rear of that Bentley. So let's see if he is able to put a move on him, or if Howells is going to return the favor and come right back at Jake's.
Ah, definitely.
Something happened to Ridders because Ridders has fallen off of the back of that. So he's definitely had something. Oh, his front end looks like he's had a bit of a scrape against the barrier.
So that four-way battle is now turned into a 3-way battle. But then, of course, right behind these guys is Gavpig. And I mean, he's only got 2-3 minutes to go to try and catch up to Checo, which I realistically think is not possible. Unless Checo makes a big mistake, it's again, like I said, it's for him to lose, but he looks very, very solid. So, question remains, is Gavpig gonna just sit there, take it comfortably? Got a 23-second gap between himself and Marius, who we haven't spoken about in a while. A definite podium for him.
He's been kind of just this silent Porsche in the race. He got his third after some of the guys decided to not use the black stuff, and he's kind of just kept it on track and made sure he doesn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Which today is paying off for him and giving him a podium result, which is absolutely great.
Yes, and then Rapid Duck, who, from recollection, had that slight incident with Grimshaw. Again, I beg to be proven wrong, but that's what I remembered. And that to me, it really looked like just line of entry into the corner, the one braking, the one not. But since then, he seemed to have been very solid, aggressive, but solid. and he's sitting very comfortably in 4th position. No one really chasing him down. T. Scott has got a bit of a gap between him and Furious Sky, so big battle at this moment is between Zero and Jakes. Merck versus Bentley.
And that Merc is definitely closer to that Bentley.
It is a lot closer than what it is. So Zero has got a green mamba looking and luring behind him. I'm gonna call it a green mamba because that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay, the leader is on the final
Okay,
lap
so
now. Give it
Checo's
all you can.
on the final lap. So Jakes has got 1 lap to get this done.
Yeah.
Is he able to do it? And let's try and just keep an eye out for Checo so that we don't miss him going over the finish line.
We will not. I'm gonna figure out where he is.
I
777.
think he's not too far ahead of these boys. No, he's
No.
not. He's actually just ahead of them.
Yeah, so he's got a couple of corners to do. Big battle still between these boys. Of course, they're gonna finish behind the leader. So this is about the final lap where they can make it count. Gafbeek, however, on the other hand, seems like he has settled for the position he has. I
would also just sit there in the back and let these boys just race it out. You've got nothing to lose and really not much to gain.
exactly. So just stick it in, make it corner by corner, and filter it through. I would honestly love to know what has happened with the man. It really looked like Gavin had this in the bag, and then something dramatically changed at the pit stop, giving Checo that 3-second gap, which I am shocked to see. And since then, he ran away.
Checo there, boss man. Let's jump
So-
to Checo. I think he's probably about to cross the finish
Final
line.
corners for him.
Here we go. Checo is coming to the line. I cannot believe we are saying this. Checo is coming through for the win, flashing his lights, even slowing down. What a cheek. Nice one, Checo. Great race.
Great
And-
race. Gafbeek
And the
there
boys
in
Gav
second.
bringing it in second. I take it. There we go. Sarah Racer kept out Jakes for the finish there. Marius coming home in 3rd place. What a great drive from him. Absolutely 0 mistakes. And that's a 3rd place, which is, I think, a great result from him after being not able to fight for it last week with his frame drops, and Jakes took that podium from him. And then Rapid Duck coming through in 4th place. And we have got Howls and Ridders that have finished. Grimjaw that has come through already, so that's 9, 10, and 11 that's also finished. Springbok Gamer has finished in 15th. Let's see.
A few guys filtered behind the leader, so Rapid Duck, quite a distance between everyone else. I mean, we still got
Yeah,
T. Scott there that needs to come and finish. Are they in close proximity to
Yeah.
each other?
to me today, driver of the day, as much as I would love to say Checo, I have to say T. Scott coming from 18th to finish 5th and hitting the wall and still
Yes.
finishing 5th place.
And still finishing in 5th place. So again, big drive for T. Scott. I think they needed that severely based on last week's race.
Yeah,
Again,
no,
Rapid Duck
definitely.
taking 4th, T. Scott taking 5th. And then, of course, closing it off here is Various Sky in 6th. And then we still have Triv in 60th, who, in all honesty, we haven't really spoken about at all this race. Awfully quiet. And then Captain van Beek, still warming up his tires at the end of the race. But
Looks like, yeah, he's just trying to get to the finish because that poor McLaren also looks like it's had much better days.
it definitely has. So again, fantastic racing. In all fairness, these boys came to the playing field. Have to admit, it was not the easiest race for them all. Big ups to Checo, they're taking the victory with Gap, Pick, and Marius in the podium position. Next week is going to be eventful as well. So next week's races, again, same time, same place. We're going to go and head off to Japan, a Suzuka round, and I can probably tell you that the conditions for next week will be nice and sunny, as what they say, but these servers will be bright and early in the morning, so slightly a dark start, and hopefully the sun will come up and impede the the racing line for the drivers. To everyone on the stream, I'm gonna say thank you all for your support and so forth. Paul, it's been a pleasure, man, an
Yeah, no,
absolute pleasure.
this was a great race, and let's not forget, Jock, you owe me a shot.
Oh, let's not go there. And then, of course, final, last but not least, again, if anyone wants to join us on racing, you're more than welcome to pick us up at Grid Finder or SimGrid to register for the console side of it. We do PC, GT Sport console as well. Streaming as much as we can on all the great racing. So don't be shy. Kick us up. Discord, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then, of course, big thanks and big shout out to the boys at Sarko and SSR. You gotta steer me in the right direction. Um,
For which one? Sonic Sim
SSR,
Racing.
Sonic Sim Racing. There we go. Sorry, that kind of went out of my brain the minute I wanted to say that. So, big thanks to them, and then, of course, to everyone else. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.
Yeah, cheerio.